And the truth is, losing weight is the easy part. It's maintaining your weight loss that the real discipline and grind is at. Hey family, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing wonderfully well. So today I'm going to be sharing with you some of my top 7 tips for maintaining weight loss. I remember a while back when I shared my weight loss journey and I guess the way in which I approach eating, there was a lot of interest and I thought I would follow up. I think it's been how many years? 4 years now. It's been about 4 years. No, it's been about 5 years. I started my weight loss journey in 2016 and now we're in 2021. So it's been about 5 years since I started trying to lose weight, and now I've been in maintenance for coming up to 2 years. So do stick around. If you are currently losing weight or maintaining, this video is for you. I'm going to be giving you some practical advice from a Christian perspective, also from a healthcare perspective, and we're going to mix it all together. Before we get started talking about weight loss, I want to say that the goal is not just losing weight. The goal is restoring health, restoring longevity, restoring yourself of energy and all the things that you lost from maybe being overweight and not being active and not eating well. And I think when you have that in mind, you realize that the numbers don't mean anything. It's very easy to get trapped by a number, but I'm here promoting to you that you can be healthy and maybe at a higher number than you wish you were at. So my first tip for weight loss maintenance is sustained discipline. This is a fruit of the Holy Spirit, self-control. It's not something you can practice once and that's it. You have to continue practicing self-control. I found myself in a place now where I have an exercise routine, I have a diet routine, things that I do on autopilot in order to help me continue on my healthy patterns that I instilled over the years. It does take constant self-denial, constant saying no at times, constant thinking and making executive decisions, as opposed to just taking on and accepting everything the environment provides you with. If, like me, you are living in the Western world, I think it's key to realize that you live in an obesogenic environment, which means the environment you are surrounded by promotes obesity. There are fast food joints at every turn. There are buses, there are trains that deter us from walking or cycling and using more natural methods of transport. And so as a result, you have to have something in place in order to keep you on the right track. If you don't have any systems in place to guard against unhealthy eating habits, sedentary lifestyle, then you will become the environment you live in. So it's important to remain disciplined and have a focus about what it is you're doing and why you are doing it. My second golden tip for maintaining your weight loss is cook. Cook your food yourself. I love the fact that during lockdown, loads of restaurants were closed, etc., because it meant I was cooking probably 80–90% of the time. And very rarely was I going out to buy some snacks or fast food. And I think when you cook, you know what is going into your food. You know the salt content, the fat content, the sugar content. All these things which are lovely but in excess can wreak havoc on your health. Not only that, but you save a lot of money from cooking at home most of the time. And so now I reserve eating out for if I'm going out with friends, family and loved ones, like if there's an occasion, if I'm meeting up with people, that's when I will reserve eating out for. But aside from that, trust me, I'm in my house cooking food, having cookbooks, finding inspiration online, cooking the things I know I enjoy, cooking things that are quick, easy and simple that I can go to week in, week out. That's what helps me to maintain my weight loss. The third thing that I do regularly to maintain my weight loss is fasting. So I've spoken about fasting many a time and I'm saying it again now. Fasting for spiritual reasons is a discipline, as well as for health reasons, it's a discipline. We see this wildly in the medical world and also in natural medicine, where people fast and people try to abstain from food in order to deny themselves, but also to fine-tune their appetites to know, okay, when am I really hungry? Am I thirsty? Am I tired? What is it that's driving me to food? And having that awareness of the fact that fasting can increase your sensitivity to your hunger signals, to what you need, what your body needs, is key for maintaining weight loss. So intermittent fasting has become like a buzzword now, but it is a great thing to use. This is where you kind of fast for a certain period of time every day. And the way in which I adopted this early on, which I shared, was that I stopped having breakfast and only ate lunch and dinner. So I would eat from 12 to 8 p.m. and then I would fast till the next day. And then I slowly, gradually learned how to shorten this eating window till it got to a point where I was just eating one meal a day. And one meal a day is something I did a lot throughout the lockdown, and it's something that I'm doing intermittently now as well, because it just helps me not only to really check my appetites from a physical perspective, but also spiritually. It helps me to remember the true reason why I need to be fed and why I need to go to God. So fasting is something to explore if you don't do that already. Almost just having some limits and bounds on when you eat. If you're someone who kind of snacks all day, throughout the night, waking up in the night snacking, having that sort of structure in place that says, okay, no, I'm not going to eat after 8 p.m. or after 6 p.m. and I'll only start eating from 10 a.m. or 12 p.m. That's going to help you to become more sensitive to what your eating habits are. I would also say a benefit from intermittent fasting or eating fewer meals in the day is that you tend to get to have more satiating meals. So when you have fewer meals, you can have like a proper meal that will fill you up, as opposed to when you snack throughout the day, you're kind of topping up, but never really being satisfied. So it works for me because I like having bigger meals when I do eat and just kind of using that as an opportunity to socialize and rest. But do try it out and see what works for you. The fourth tip I would say I use to maintain my weight loss is I have an awareness of how many calories are in different foods. So I don't religiously count calories, but I do ballpark know how many calories are in what foods. So in different fruits or in different chocolates, or in sweets and snacks, in meals, in pastas, in breads, I do kind of know, okay, what's a serving? Okay, what is a portion? How much should I be having per meal so that I'm not under eating or overeating? And this has helped me massively because it got to a point, I think, in my weight loss journey where I was eating less in terms of quantity, but the caloric density was high. And that's another point that I will make, is understanding that low calorie dense foods are great for weight loss. Low calorie dense foods mean they have fewer calories per 100 grams. So that would be fruits, vegetables, tubers, rice and breads, compared to fatty foods like chocolates, crisps, nuts, which are good for you, but they have a lot of fat and have a lot of calories. This may take a little bit of education from your part, some research, some understanding of what is in your foods from a caloric perspective, but it does help you to kind of budget your day. So I do try to budget my day from a calorie perspective, in the sense that just as you may have a financial budget of what you want to spend for the day on lunch, I have a caloric budget for what I want to spend a day on lunch. And I try to hit my caloric spend each time so that I'm not going too over or too under. And on days where maybe I'm exercising more or more active, then my caloric needs go up, and so I eat more. And on days where I'm very sedentary, maybe working on projects all day on my laptop in lectures, my caloric needs go down and then I eat less. My fifth point, which I have touched on in the previous point, is about the low calorie dense foods. So I love my fruits and my vegetables, and I try to get them in at every single meal. So I don't let a meal go by where I'm not having a fruit or a vegetable. And that helps me not only to get in the fiber, which is important for bowel function, but it also helps me to be hydrated and to have the good foods that I know God created me to have. My body loves when I have fruits and vegetables and fresh foods, and my skin loves it. Everything is happy when I'm eating that way. If I were to give an average ballpark of how many servings of fruit and vegetables I have a day, I would say easily between 7 and 10. So I know they say 5 fruit and veg a day, but I take that to mean 5 fruit and 5 veg a day, as opposed to 5 of both. My sixth tip for maintaining weight loss is to limit your processed foods. So we're kind of relating this all to the Daniel fast. This is all surrounding Daniel fast. Limit foods that are processed excessively or that are not in their natural state, because when you process foods, you have to add preservatives, sugar, salt, and other things in order to enhance the taste. And so if you're trying to aim to eat, I would say 80-90% of foods that you're having in their natural form, or you prepare and cook it yourself, then that's going to help you a lot. As this relates to meat, cheeses and dairy products, I would say opt for the lower fat versions or the 0% fat versions if possible. So if you're buying minced beef, instead of getting 20% fat, get 5%, get the leaner cut. If you're going for Greek yogurt, instead of getting the full fat, go for 0% or 10% fat, because this reduces your calorie intake, which in turn reduces how much energy you're taking in, which helps you to maintain that weight loss with very little compromise on taste and flavor, I would say. If you're going for poultry like chicken or turkey, go for breast because it's very lean compared to going for the legs or the wings or the thighs, which have a higher fat content simply because of the type of muscle tissue it is. Of course, you can have these on occasions or for treats, but in your everyday cooking habits, gravitating towards leaner cuts of meat, leaner cuts of dairy, cheese, etc. is going to help you to keep the weight off. I would also say on this point about sources of protein is to also include beans and legumes in your food. High in protein, low in fat, high in carbohydrates, so they give you that energy boost you need and help you feel full for longer because of the fiber. And they're also great if you are trying to reduce the money and the budget that you're spending on food, because I know meats, etc., fish can be quite expensive. And the final golden tip I have for maintaining weight loss is to include the foods you love in your diet. So don't completely restrict yourself. It's all about sustainability and longevity. Again, losing weight is easy. It's maintaining that weight loss is hard. If you're like me and you've watched these Big Loser shows and all of these shows that people go and lose weight, look down 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, a lot of them put the weight back on and so much more because they don't actually change the lifestyle and the habits that they have. And something that's helped me greatly is to include smaller things that I do enjoy. So I'm a big chocolate fan. I've said this before, I absolutely love chocolate. I could have it every day. I sometimes do have it every day, but the portion sizes that I have it in is very small. So I love Lindt chocolate. Lindt chocolate is beautiful, so is Green and Black's. And I would give myself a square or 2 squares after dinner, and that's it. That way I'm having my chocolate and I'm enjoying it, but I'm not like overdoing it. I'm not having a whole chocolate bar. I'm not having, a whole thing. And that way I'm happy because I'm getting the taste that I enjoy without sacrificing the goals that I have for health and fitness. Or if for you it's milkshakes, I also love milkshakes. And one of the things I do now is use fruits to make my milkshakes. So instead of having a lot of dairy and a lot of sugar, I will use bananas, blend them with almond or oat milk, add a little drops of caramel flavoring, and that tastes like a caramel milkshake. And that is now one of my go-to like breakfast ideas or drink ideas if I want to have a snack. So those are my 7 top tips for maintaining weight loss. I hope this has encouraged you. Which of these are you going to implement? Let me know in the comments below. And do remember that ultimately God desires for us to enjoy our lives. God desires for us to see good things and to live long. And by doing these things, we can help to promote that longevity whilst also growing in the fruits of the spirit, such as self-control and discipline and love, etc. I hope that you found this helpful, and do be sure to like, subscribe and share, and I will see you again in my next one. Bye!